Damn it.
Listening to everyone really is important. Oh yes, when everyone speaks like we do, when we all have something to say, so it's very important we listen to everyone. Totally. You can just speak in a different way. Let's go. I'm really sorry. Yeah, we were trying to even though you weren't speaking like we were, you still should have listened to what we were trying to say. Don't worry, we have a plan. You can write what you need to say. People think in different ways. In the new way, you can get
All right. Probably 15. Do 10:30. 10:30. And 1. Let's see. Basically got it for free. What? I'm sorry, it's what? I don't have a napkin. Go get the orange towel on top of the counter in the kitchen. Did this just give her a horrible? Is this trying to give you a horrible? Do you need some cinnamon and honey? Okay. Yes? Okay. Sound like I do too. Are you getting full? Do not tell me that you're full and turn around and ask me for some ice cream or something else, because the answer is going to be no, okay? If you're full, fine. And you need to find what book we can read. But I'll give you a little time. to watch your shows and whatnot. But we gotta get it. We gotta get on this reading. So we gotta get you up to read. Does anybody know how to read in your class? Who?
Liam and Milo.
Milo is the only one that knows how to read.
Yeah, Liam.
Liam knows how to read the whole thing. No problems. Wow. Then we need to catch up. Giera doesn't know how to read.
Uh-uh.
So only Milo and Liam.
Uh-huh.
We gotta catch up. You know how to read somewhat if you take the time
There's supposed to be a great article about Finnegan King this month.
and not try to go ahead.
You've never heard of Finnegan King? Jester King? The Alaskan King of the Fiddlestick? No. Nickname. You legend Finnegan King began playing the fiddle at a very young age. What's funny? Oh, just imagining a baby playing fiddle. He took his first music lesson when he was 8 years old. Oh, that makes more sense. Finnegan grew up in Kaya, a small village in interior Alaska. He's from Kaya? Finnegan picked up a love of music listening to the elders in his village. Everyone in town wanted to hear little Finnegan play. And when Finnegan was old enough, he left Kaya and spent his career traveling and playing music for fiddle fans all over the world. Finnegan has written hundreds of songs, but he's best known for his #1 hit, Come Home to Kaya. Oh, I love that song. You should get to it. I don't know, it's pretty tricky. What do you say you can't play it? Wow, that was really good. Now until the part where the string went point. Not good. I'm out of spare strings. Don't worry. We have all kinds of stuff at the table. I bet we can find a string there. Okay, we don't have any strings. But Tootie's mom plays violin. You can borrow one of hers. All right, she doesn't have any strings either. Molly, I'm not going to be able to play tonight. Don't worry. If there's one place that has everything, it's the Cova. Well, not a single spare string. Aren't you going to say, don't worry? Molly, I've waited years to play the festival. But without a string, I won't be able to. I'm sorry, Esther. Huh? Mr. Pritchett? I didn't know you played the fiddle.
I just took one lesson so I could do repair jobs. This fiddle belongs to me.
Are they coming to the festival tonight? Maybe they have a string guitar.
Doubt it. The owner doesn't leave his cabin very often. I've only met him a few times. Don't even know his name. To me, he's just a fiddler in the woods.
Wow. This fiddler in the woods sounds mysterious and awesome, and I would very much like to meet him and get a string from him.
Well, I'm about to head out to his cabin to drop this off. Malik, want to come along?
Will it take very long?
His cabin is just a few miles out. Should be enough time to make it there and back for the festival.
I don't know. I really don't want to miss it. Come on, Oscar. You don't want to go to the festival with a blind string. Let's go meet the fiddler in the woods. Okay, I'll do it. Yeah, all right.
Very good.
You only took one lesson?
I'm a fast learner.
I can see how somebody would want to live out here. Maybe I'll be a fiddler in the woods someday. To be a fiddler in the woods, don't you need to play the fiddle? Right. Then I'll be something else. I like to doodle. Maybe I'll be the doodler in the woods.
This snow is deeper than I expected. But it shouldn't be long once we make it through the pass up ahead.
Do you mean that fast? I don't know. That means we missed the festival.
I know a way around, but it's longer, so we're going to have to pick up the pace.
We gotta hurry. Gotcha. It's getting late. We're gonna miss the festival. Don't say that, Oscar. The festival doesn't start until 5 o'clock. Mr. Matuk, what time is it?
5 o'clock.
Okay, that is so much later than I thought it was.
I'm sorry, Oscar. I know the festival means a lot to you.
I'm sorry too, Oscar. I thought for sure we'd make it in time. That's okay. Maybe a little bit. In the woods would mind if Oscar played his fiddle. In the woods.
I think he would appreciate that at a real thing.
Why don't you play something while we're at? Like Come Home to Kaya?
I thought I heard that, Phil. Well, come on then. I'm sorry there aren't more chairs.
Did you hear, Pastor, regarding they said coronavirus?
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about it.
Coronavirus?
What about it?
Well, there are people who are afraid because the coronavirus has come to California.
Yes.
Right.
In Canada too, in the Toronto now there are 2 confirmed cases already.
Already?
Yeah, but they are, I think they are husband and wife. The husband fell ill first. The wife is now also under observation. Yeah, and they came back from the place of the epicenter of the start of the place from Wuhan, China. So yeah, they are. I think they are now in the hospital where it's a negative pressure. So negative pressure means there's no air that's going to come out from the room. So under observation and quarantine.
Right.
Mm.
Then we pray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our biggest right?
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Some events are canceled because of that. I was like, what?
Yep. But don't be fearful. Pray.
Okay.
If you remember this, if you breathe and meditate, like we say, If you over-oxygenate the body, sickness, disease, virus, and infection cannot exist in your body. Scientists have proven this. So when you breathe and you're oxygenating everything and you flood everything. You ever notice that?
No, I don't know how that works, but I know that when we do that, our body feel the tingling feeling.
It starts healing itself, because if you cut your finger where it's not deep enough where you got to go get stitches, what would your hand do?
It close.
It will heal itself, correct? So the body is automatically designed to heal itself.
Yes.
People's believing and state of mind, past events, guilt, sin consciousness, these things bring sickness into the world. The biggest thing you said was fear, and I said fear equals what? Death.
Yes.
Proven point. Oh, I'm gonna get the virus and I'm gonna get sick because I'm gonna die.
Yeah, but it is also because the news is such that, you know, now there are already like 80 people already died because of the sickness.
They're gonna hype
So
it
that
up.
is why the death part is the final of the journey. So everybody is afraid of that one.
Right.
Well,
in the media.
Pastor, Kobe did not expect to die. He died.
Oh yeah.
That was his contract.
But yeah.
Remember, I told you everyone has a birth contract and a death contract.
Yeah.
You have an entrance and you have an exit.
Yeah.
So his mission was complete, so he exited. And
Yeah.
he was with him.
Yeah.
So as the world mourns, the beautiful thing, it brings people together. More compassion. Everybody can come together in one-mindedness for a moment in time and erase race, financial status, titles, and things like that. Does that make sense? This teaches people, too, this is the final destination, that it's not guaranteed to anybody. Death is going to come.
Yeah, of course.
So we pray for the family and we send them our condolences. And that's it. We move on.
Yeah.
Remember this. What's the name of the game? Eternity. Your spirit can't die. The flesh dies, but what happens to the spirit? It transforms. So he's more alive now than he was in the body. Now he's aware of who he really is in the spirit. So now we should all rejoice, which we do, because he is now in the presence of Father. To be absent from the body is to be present in the presence of God. In other words, as soon as your body goes away, your spirit returns to the source. That makes sense?
Yeah. Well, I guess I think the people are shocked of the news.
Absolutely.
It's unexpected.
But
And
isn't it ironic?
Huh?
And I say this in the most respectful way, but look at the timing of when it's happened. You have the impeachment in the president, you have global warming, you have all these things that are distracting the people. And then because of this tragedy, everybody they come together for a moment in time and they forget about those things. Now, nobody's pointing a finger at each other fighting.
Is the president still going to be impeached, or they just going to let it go, and in November there's going to be a
We don't care.
Huh?
We don't care.
You don't care.
I know, but it's like the news is impeach, and then but I hear that they're gonna have an election in November. Yeah.
Biggest thing for you to do is don't get involved in that and then go vote.
Mm.
Ask God who the prime selection is for you to choose. And then choose there. Is this that we're looking at going to affect us 10 years from now? No. These are just the political games that they play.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Clinton got impeached, didn't he? He did 2 terms.
Mm-hmm.
Impeachment does not mean removal.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Now, here's the bigger question. How many people have prayed for this person? How many people have prayed for Trump?
No.
Why not? That's
You
our
don't
job.
know.
You don't know.
The points
You
are.
don't, but there are many who does.
Oh.
Doesn't it say love your enemy?
Yeah.
It says love your enemy. So he's not an enemy, but if he's an enemy to people, they should love him. And if they love him, they should pray for him.
Mm.
Stability of mind, good character, ethics, whatever their concern is, that should be their prayer instead of get him out of office. That don't do any good. Get him out of office, and then what? He writes 1,000 books and get more money?
Yeah.
His character is not going to change. But nobody prays for him. So pray for him. That makes sense?
Yes.
And remember, TV stands for tell lies to your vision. Don't believe everything you see.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
distraction. So the biggest thing, go vote. Any, by the ways, any testimonies, any need some help, any whatever?
Oh, okay. So, me and Lily have make a pact. No matter what happens, we're gonna be still happy and joyful,
Very good.
and we're gonna practice and see what happens.
Y'all been doing that for decades. What's new?
Not really, not really. We say we are happy, but actually we are still
Oh, this is like the lesson yesterday when we say we might be sad at home, but when we go out, we pretend to be happy. Is that the case now?
Yeah. Put up,
Pretend happy.
yep. You put on the chameleon face, huh? Yeah.
But now
Oh,
it's true happiness.
True happiness.
yeah. It used to be more like conditional because we request the world to be according to my condition, but most of the time we get. That's the thing. Most of the time we get it.
Right. This is why we practice the exercises, even though when you read it on paper, you go, oh, I've already done that. But then when you practice again, you'll be amazed of how things come in and you go, wow, maybe I didn't really have that under control.
Yeah.
When I first read this and started doing it myself, I went, okay, God, this is a waste of time. I already know this stuff. And he said, just try it. And when I started trying it, I went, okay, I need to be the student here because I need to practice what I preach in order for this to be effective, to help plant a seed to get the fruit of love that we're looking for. Go ahead, Lily.
Correct. So nowadays it seems like we may know the principle or the theory, right? But I guess it's different. Now we are at different timing of our lives, so it's kind of like it's going to be different.
Yep.
The feeling is different, and then maybe I'm not as good as Melissa when she said, "Oh, I've done that before." I would think that maybe we have done it before, but the attitude is a little bit different, right? And now now I guess because we are more mature, so we are more stable when we apply the principle, and then we kind of see the outcome.
It's beautiful. Isn't it?
I know it's different. And
Very
then the last time when we apply it didn't feel like this.
And it's to enlighten you.
Yeah.
We use the word light. It's to enlighten you on your experiences. This is divine wisdom.
Yeah.
Threshold to divine wisdom. And when you're enlightened, that's true wisdom. In the simplicity of it all.
So yesterday when Pastor, you said that even applying the same theory, the same practice, everybody will have a different outcome. I find that even for me, for the same person, every time that you do it, it's going to be different outcome.
Every single time. Every single
it cannot be exactly the same. Otherwise, it becomes like a mathematical formula.
You figure it out, and all of a sudden, oh, I got this mastered.
Yeah.
Every time it's different, it's different, it's different. Always.
Yes.
And it's always the scenario and the perception that you go into it with. Then here's the fun part. You go through the experience of it. Yay!
Yeah.
Not really. Sometimes you kind of like, why is it different again? Yeah, what?
Well, the
Don't
difference.
feel disappointed with the result. That's all.
I know, but right now is that, so every time when I will ask was that today, whatever happened, it's going to be fun, it's easy, and blah, blah, blah. So surprise me.
That's what I do. Father, surprise me. And just being.
But surprise can be positive or the negative.
Yeah.
So surprise me in the fun way.
Well, if you study the teaching, you become neutral. So now you don't see a positive or a negative. You just see all events are neutral, and what you perceive, you either perceive it to be positive or negative. But if I perceive it to be just a neutral event and say, oh, in 30 days, that's not going to look like that. Even tomorrow, that's not going to look like that. So if I go, now watch this. That's a great example, because that's what people do on a day-to-day basis, positive and negative. But now you cannot serve two masters. You're either going to love one or hate the other. So which one are you going to follow? So if you perceive it to be negative, now you have to follow that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Now you got to follow that trail, and now you're going to follow that experience. Now the law of attraction says every negative person and every negative event is going to happen.
But Pastor, if my experience is, if you are happy, make sure that you are happy all the time, every single minute, okay? Life comes up positive all the time.
Absolutely. Because when you stay in love, love never fails. So if love never fails, it keeps you in a high vibration. Watch this. If you stay in such a high love, you can't get sick. Can't get sick. That's your healing frequency. 528 hertz. That's your love frequency.
I still got aches. I got backache.
Right? Absolutely. But it's good to bring those things up, because what it does is it helps you become more conscious of what you are wanting to experience, what you're desiring, what you're wanting to manifest, who you want to manifest it with, things of those desires, those ideas and those thoughts. Now that becomes your true divine wisdom, because now you know how to put everything in place and organize it. Because now you're not stumbling around in the dark. Oh, I'm afraid of that. Oh, I'm afraid of that. No, I go in, and enlightenment says, I turn the light on my life. Now I can see the cup. Now I can see the glasses. Now I can see the papers. I can see my things, and now I'm not afraid of it. Oh, there's fear over there waving at me. Hey, Terry, come over here and play with me. No, fear, I'm good.
So we can ignore that, right?
Yes, you have a, remember we taught a lesson, you're free to choose?
Yeah.
All day. That is the beautiful thing about being a free will spirit. You can choose any way you want because there's no judgment.
Pastor, these days, okay, whatever I think of that person, the person will call me.
Yeah. That's your
Now,
first line of
I'm
communication.
very, very accurate.
That's your everybody, that is everybody's first line of communication. Your first line of communication was thought. Watch this. If a mother is pregnant, she feels what the baby feels, and the baby feels what the mother feels. They are connected. Do they verbally talk? Yes, they could, but intuitively and spiritually, they're already connected.
So do I attract the person that I'm thinking, or do I attract them?
Yep. And
Or
vice
feeling the same?
right? It works both ways.
Oh.
Because if it didn't work both ways, there would be no synchronicity, and then you'd be calling them and you'd be leaving them voice messages. But because they picked up, y'all are on the same wavelength. Hey, I was thinking about you. Hey, I was thinking about you. Or hey, you was in my mind. Or I was getting ready to call you. You were just in my mind a few moments ago, or last week, or whenever. Or I saw somebody who resembled you. That's normally how the conversation goes. Or, wow, I'm so glad you called. And then they dump all the problems on you. But that is the connectivity. Remember we talked about the web of relationship?
Yeah.
Part of the web of relationship. We are all what? One. So if we're all one, you're connected with every person on the planet and everything on the planet. Every rock, every tree, every sand, every mud, all of it. Every blade of grass, every snail, every creepy crawly thing, elephants, koala bears, duck-billed platypus, which is my favorite animal. All right. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
The koalas in Australia are burning,
I know we got to pray for that. Pray for that situation too.
and the kangaroos.
Yeah, definitely pray. Definitely pray for that situation. And that's what we should be doing on a day-to-day basis. Is praying for universal harmony, universal peace, universal oneness, unconditional love. The threshold to wisdom is inner silence. How can you silence your mind? Oh, page 311, sorry. Page 311.
Okay.
How can you silence your mind? And we always talk about this when it says meditate day and night. How do you silence your mind? And here's the thing. Everybody does it different. I always get people that want to debate how to silence their mind. And I said, well, whatever works for you.
Yeah.
What works for you might not work for the next person. Does that make sense? So how do you, if you don't mind, how do y'all silence your mind? I'll tell you how I do mine. Each morning when I get up, it's perfectly quiet. Normally it's about 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. That is my best time to meditate. That's when I hear the buzz, the stillness, the coolness of the air. I'm connected with the Father. This is when I begin to breathe. This is when I begin to give my affirmations, thanking the day, doing my prayers, blessing each and one of you, blessing the strangers. These are the ones how I silence my mind. Well, it sounds like, wow, Pastor, sounds like you're busy. But in silence of mind, we always say this: stop the flow of resistant thinking. In other words, don't think anything negative. Simple as that. Try not to think, and then don't guilt trip yourself if the thought comes up. Okay? What is the benefit of silence the mind? Keeps you balanced. Keeps you balanced. What is required in order for you to silence your mind?
To be in neutrality.
To be in neutrality. All right. What else? That's
You have
good.
to be aware what you're thinking of, I guess.
Okay. Conscious of the mind. All right. What else?
Not thinking of anything.
Not thinking of anything. How
To
do we
focus.
What is it?
To focus.
To focus. Absolutely. All of you are right. And each answer you give is tailored to yourself. Own that. Own that. Because as you learn to silence your mind, you can merely think, I'm thinking of this person. I want to talk to this person. And then you have a conversation with that person. How long did it take you from thinking the thought and having the conversation?
Almost immediately, I guess.
Melissa, how long did it take?
Uh,
A day, 2 days, a week, 3 weeks?
no, like just within hours.
How cool is that?
Yeah, very cool.
If we can be nosy, how did your conversation go? If you don't mind us asking, I'm just curious.
My conversation with the other party?
How did it start off? Not the whole conversation, but how did it start off? The hello part.
No, that person, okay. That I was thinking, no, today, this morning, I was practicing. I was thinking of that transaction that I have. So I was thinking, oh, I'm going to call Jessica later on, you know? And then as I got busy, you know, as not busy, I just do my thing these days, practicing self-love, you know? So I just do my thing, you know, and then she called me.
Yep.
She called me. And so, of course, she said, and then she was very nice. Hello, Melissa. How are you? You know, like that. So I just asked the question that I want to ask her.
How cool is that? Better than text message.
Yeah. Okay. Then the people that I want to follow up, you know, I started saying, hey, good morning, or hi, so and so. I'm thinking of you. You are in my mind. I'm just checking in on you, how you're doing. I trust that everything is well, you know, and then go on with whatever things I want to ask them.
And you get your answer.
Yeah.
It's a cool game to play because you can do it any place, anytime with anyone.
Yeah.
On that frequency, that vibration, which means y'all are in the same soul family.
So now I feel that it's easier with these people. I'm yet to connect with the people in Palm Springs. I'm yet. They somehow rather, I'm not sure why they're not calling me.
Different vibration. But different vibration, different place.
Oh.
Remember, they have a different thinking in Palm Springs.
Huh? They're different thinking?
Yeah, you're talking about a neighborhood vice a singular person.
Oh, no. I was thinking of that, the head of the community though, Dixie. I was thinking of Dixie.
Oh, okay.
I was thinking of Dixie, you know, because I have something that I would like to do with her, you know. And
She hasn't contacted you. I got it.
she, you know, I have not called her, and she did not call me either.
Different frequency.
So tomorrow I'm gonna text her. I'm gonna call her.
Different frequencies. That's all. That's all.
Yeah. So right now, the Palm Spring, I do really hope that they improve themselves, you know, and I continue to strive for them to be better, you know.
I'm still praying for them also.
Huh?
I'm still praying for them also.
What?
Remember, I promised I would pray with you also.
Oh, yeah, yes.
For them also.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So I want to do I want to do an event
Uh-huh.
there to involve the community. So I hope that it is welcome and they all participate.
Okay. Send her a text and see what happens.
Yeah.
All right. Question number 4. The ego tries to do what to the mind? The ego tries to do what to the mind?
Try to distract you.
Yes, it does.
Problems, so many worries, so many things you have to think about.
Yep. Ego wants to be in charge.
Yes.
We always say spirit leads, mind follows. Spirit leads, mind follows, body obeys. Ego wants to lead, mind is out of the way, and the body wants to obey. So you have mind and flesh and no spirit. So people are in darkness. So the theme then of this lesson, your affirmation, I am aligned to divine wisdom of the universe and it flows through me in abundance. Woo, I like that. Yes. 11.5 billion. Woohoo. All right. The theme then of this lesson is the cultivation of the inner silence, which is the threshold of wisdom divine. How then does the mind come to true silence? Well, we already answered that. It is not merely a matter of closing the mouth. It's not simply a matter of shutting out the noise of the world. It is certainly not a matter of ceasing to listen to others, whether they speak the words of praise or words of criticism. Quite the contrary. Silence can be cultivated in a number of ways. And this is why we said that to begin with. And people will try to debate on this issue. And we go, why debate it? No debate. Initially, it will look like something you do through the body, to breathe deeply and rhythmically, to sit next to an ocean, to sit beneath a tree and become absorbed in the wind, or to merely practice the ancient art of remaining silent without speaking as you go through your daily events. All of these begin to cultivate a relaxation within the brain. This is what we want. So when we say stopping the resistance of thinking, this is how you relax your brain. So what's the first thing they tell you when people get into fear and their heart's pounding? What are the first thing people tell them?
Take a deep breath.
Take a deep breath. Everybody on the whole planet knows that golden rule. Because it does what? Relaxes everything, slows everything down, relaxes that brain, it relaxes the nervous system, and it relaxes the body. Yet these things are merely projection of the mind anyway. So to still the body, to calm the body, to allow the activity in the brain hemisphere to relax and become more harmonious is, in fact, an initial step in bringing the mind to silence. But far deeper than these things is this, that genuine silence, which is indeed the threshold to wisdom, and wisdom is nothing more than enlightenment, requires the cultivation of deep self-honesty or deep self-honest. Honesty is the act in which the mind is no longer committed to hiding from its own darkness. I have said many times in many ways that it is necessary to enter to the blackness of the ego in order to discover what you want no longer. In other words, in order to get rid of fear, you got to do what? Confront it. Address it. How do you address it? You don't necessarily have to go put yourself in that type of fear, because fear is all the state of the mind. So you can go within and face the fear within the mind, but people don't know how to do that because they don't even want to think about it. Oh, I don't want to think about that. My page is renumbering. Can somebody read that for me?
In truth, for anyone who makes such a journey, that which is ego becomes repulsive, repugnant, and hurtful to one's self. And that is the only thing that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, understand that in the way of transformation, although we have covered much territory in this lessons so far, a cornerstone of the universal curriculum must always be the cultivation of a deep self-honesty. In self-honesty, one decides to simply observe the mind itself, to simply observe the behavior that flows from the mind through the body, as it gestures itself out into the world. True self-honesty requires time. Why? Because the ego is the attempt to replace honesty and truth with dishonesty and falsity.
Absolutely. So imagine you are fully enlightened in this moment. So if you were to imagine yourself being fully enlightened, what would you look like to yourself? Ooh.
Fully enlightened, I'm dead.
No, you're very clear.
Very clear. How would you see yourself if you were fully enlightened?
Right.
Right?
Yeah, right. But I believe that my brightest moment will be when I'm out of this world. When I'm all clear and ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Whole.
Yes.
Now, no judgment, no fear, no doubt, no worry, self-healing, healing others. Now you're doing what you're created to do. Be in the image and the likeness of God. Have a joyful experience. When you're completely enlightened, you enjoy life. You love life. You don't want to check out so fast.
Yeah, I think that is also that is really very true, because from even from the Buddhist scriptures or whatever, the enlightened masters will have so many disciples that in reality, even if it is time for him to leave, he's not willing to go.
He's not willing to go. Nope. Not at all. That's right. He's happy. He's joyful. He lives a. Go ahead.
But I always think that as the human, right, we are in a constant, well, not struggle, but there's something that is not perfect.
We're all, well, that's another matter of perception. If you think about it, what is really perfection?
Yeah, so we don't reach perfection. So we will never reach perfection at any moment. That's why we keep striving to be better and better, and then we develop our potential for expansion or enlightenment. And then when we say, oh, I reached enlightenment, but it's never 100%. You keep going.
The name of the game is eternity.
Yeah, you cannot say, oh, I have enough. I'm 100% enlightened, so there I go. No.
Right. Well, and here's what happens. You become 100% on levels.
Oh, yes.
If you want to call them degrees.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, you have to go from one level of learning and then graduate to go to the next level.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same thing with your spiritual journey. Same thing what we teach here. You have to go from one level of learning that, and then once you master it, now you get your certificate of completion, and now you go to the next degree of your life of learning, your own path. So in other words, the God in you says, what do I want to experience now at this level? Because now I'm capable of handling more. A third grader can handle more than a preschooler or first grader.
But in our case is that we don't even have to say that I can handle more, give me more. They will make you promoting, and then they'll give you more, and then you promote without knowing, oh, I think I'm better.
It'll happen anyway.
Yeah. Automatic.
If it's going to happen anyway, be a good student. Let me watch and learn this lesson so I don't have to repeat it again. So
That's why.
if I knew I was an alcoholic and it didn't do my body good and it made everybody around me miserable because I was a horrible drunk, not that I was, but case scenario, now everybody don't want to be around me because I'm a horrible drunk.
Mm.
You see my point?
Mm-hmm.
So I have to learn, one, either put it down, pick up water,
Mm-hmm.
not go to the bars, change my pattern. In other words, I have to start within myself to change those patterns. It has to come with a thought of, I no longer want this to be the desire.
Mm.
Or I no longer want to feel this way.
Mm.
Most alcoholics and drug addicts, they're all the same. They're in the same category of hurt. I drank because I had something that I was hurting from, that I had to heal from. So to hide it, I drink it.
Mm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Police.
We always wonder why people drink when it's not nice to drink.
Because they're brokenhearted. I was brokenhearted.
From what?
It-
I'm curious, Pastor. Because you know why?
No, I'll tell you why. And one of the things, I was always fighting in one of my commands when I was in the Navy. So they tried to make my life very miserable.
Oh, yeah.
So me being the person I am, I never changed. I try to love everybody. And the more I try to love them, the more mean they got. The more delicious thing they try to do to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And,
But
and you think that by drinking it will solve your problem?
I thought it did. Cause more problems.
Yeah.
Did it for 15 plus years.
Oh, wow.
Drunk, yeah, functional drunk. Horrible place to be.
I mean, when people start to drink, it is not because they want to forget their problem. They're just trying to
Escape.
find a temporary escape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, because when they were drinking, like just now we say we cannot serve too much. When they were drinking, they were not thinking about their problems.
Right. You
Right?
can't
But
stop
that is temporary. After a while,
When you
when
wake
you
up,
wake up, you go back to the real world, the thing happens, then you try to drink again. And then as you go further and further, you got like stuck with it.
Vicious cycle. I was in a vicious cycle for years and years and years. And I had to come to self-honesty with myself and say, you know what? I'm hurting. What am I really hurting from? What am I truly hurting from to hurt myself in this manner?
Mm-hmm.
And then once I identified that hurt, I was able to deal with it, address it, and release it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I graduated where now I don't have to drink. I can drink juice all day, see that?
Yeah.
You know?
mm. Like for me, when I was young, somebody told me is that my family are good gamblers.
Mhm.
Like, you know, it's in our destiny, so we are very good in gambling. And there was a time where I started playing cards, actually, just to accompany some of my aunties.
Right.
And I would win, right? And they would say that you're really good. And then suddenly I was thinking like, no, I don't want to get stuck at the table.
Yeah.
Now I refuse to play.
Mhm.
And
Well,
when people try to invite me to play just for a round or two, I would not even touch the cards anymore. And my mom was surprised. Said, why you stop playing? You were pretty good. I said, no, I don't want to be gamblers. You understand?
right. Because that's not your desire anymore.
Mm.
And one of the things that I discovered on why I drink, it was people in my family drink. When I was a little boy, I used to see my uncles drink and get drunk.
Mm. Mm.
Influence.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, that popped in my head where, oh, if I saw them do it, it must be something to it.
Mm.
Okay, no, cut it off. X.
Yeah. But
It does-
if nobody teaches you, and nobody shows you the way, then it's easy to get caught up in that stream. Very easy. They told you don't play with the cards because there's gamblers in the family, but then you picked up the cards and found out you was really good at it. And then it scared you. Oh my God, it's true.
Yeah.
No, but there are two ways to think about it, Pastor. One is, oh my God, it's true, I don't want to go there. And another way, oh my God, I can make a lot out of this. And then,
Okay, Pastor, there's this case, right? There's this case. The boy was adopted when he was young. He was in a foster home, so he was adopted by a man and a woman. Okay, this man and woman used to be, in a relationship. Okay, so adopted this kid for a few years, and then the woman decided not to marry the man, and she decided to came out of closet.
Oh wow. Okay.
So she married another woman.
Okay.
She married a woman, right?
Uh-huh.
So this is years already, So now the kid is 16 years old. 16 years old. So the moms, he has two moms, right?
Right.
mm-hmm.
He has two moms and he has a father.
Uh-huh.
Okay, because this man and woman together adopted him.
Right.
Now they went separate ways. They're still the mom and the dad.
Right. He got mom and mom.
But he is living with two moms now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now he is into drugs. He has suicidal thoughts. And the mom, the man mom.
Yeah, mom. Okay.
The in the lesbian relationship, there's one woman that is more like the man.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's one that's more like the woman.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay, that's called the A and the B. Okay. So the A is the husband, the B is the wife, right? So they decided to try to have a baby through insemination. All right. And they decide and they check that the A is cannot conceive. It's not good. Okay. So it's the B.
Conceive.
Okay, the B. But they tried many times and she got miscarriages. Okay, she got miscarriages until they have no more eggs. So now they have to ask for other people's egg. Okay, so the A and the B are having problems because the B is having miscarriages, so I guess a lot of emotional stuff going on there. At the same time, the son is having that problem too.
A lot of hurt and a lot of confusion.
I think so. It's all within the family. The kid is confused.
A lot of confusion because nobody, and I could be wrong, but I don't think anybody sat down and really talked to him. Because if he knows he's adopted, I could be wrong, then that's one aspect of it. But honestly, I think nobody has really sat down and talked to him genuinely. And here's why I say that. And this is nothing against women or men or whatever, but it's hard for a woman to raise a man at 16. They can't relate. She don't have the body parts to talk to him if he gets an erection. She don't know what that feels like. He don't know what her cycle feels like. But if you have another man who can talk to another young man who's coming up, now they have more compatibility and more understanding between them. Now they can communicate better. Yes. You got two moms and one upcoming man.
Mm. Mm.
Not that it's not impossible, hear me well, but in my opinion, it's a little bit more difficult.
Yes.
That's just my thought.
I really thought, I mean, I really thought, I'm not sure whether my thinking was right also. The first thing I thought was he feel jealous.
That could be.
Now the focus of the moms into having another kid.
Mhm.
And the kid, sibling jealousy.
Yeah.
You know, because, and he knows that he's not he's adopted,
Mhm.
you know, and at the same time he's confused, he's calling, but he has a girlfriend though.
Well, the sexuality has nothing to do with it. It's I think what it is he feels abandoned.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Well, he feels abandoned, I think.
So he does that to gain the attention, right?
Yep.
That's what I thought too.
Absolutely.
But why he thinks of suicide? Why he has suicidal thoughts though? That is self-destruction.
Well, that's just part of that area of thinking. It comes with that territory. When I drank, I had suicidal thoughts also, not realizing every time I put this to my mouth, I was committing suicide.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Slow suicide.
Slow suicide. Yeah, slow death.
Yeah.
Every time I wake up from a hangover, I'm never going to drink again after I puked all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And that same night, let's go to the bar. Therefore, in truth, beloved friends, understand well that the ego is the attempt to replace honest and with dishonest. It is dishonest itself. We're on page 312.
On page 312, that one after the red sentence.
Oh.
Imagine for a moment.
Oh, go ahead and read it.
Imagine for a moment that you are fully enlightened in this moment. Mm-hmm. You are abiding in a state of perfect freedom and peace.
Yes.
Are at one with God.
Yes.
Would there be anything that you would need to be dishonest with in your own mind?
Ooh.
What corner of the mind would you have failed to embrace in life?
Everybody understand?
Well, if you are in the enlightened moment, you're very happy.
You're happy, and guess what? You're in the now. You're in the now. You don't worry about what's happening. You don't overthink it. You don't think.
Correct, but that moment is very short sometimes.
It's all change. Everything changes. In the next 2 minutes, this is going to change.
But I think even though the moment is very short, if we have the capability of recreating the moment again and again, I don't really mind that it's being short. It's just that when I do need it, I'll just create it.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it. Because at the end of the day, time is perceptual. Time is perceptual. Time was something that all the humans came together to agree upon to be at certain places, to migrate together. Can you touch time? No. Can you see time? No. Can you feel time? No. Can you smell time? No. Can you go find time? What does time look like?
Yeah.
You can make time.
You can't even make time. How do you make time? What is it made of? What substance? See? So time is perceptual. But if I'm in the now, that's my time.
Mm-hmm.
This right here is our time. We're all happy. Nobody's hopefully not thinking about work. And if you are, reel it back in. Work will be there. You get my point?
Mhm.
All we got is now. And if we carry this now to bed, happy, how do you think your tomorrow will look like?
You start happy.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Happy to wake up enlightened.
Yes.
Coming to this day in God, with God, for God, and by God. I'll live this day in God, with God, for God, and by God. I will close this day in God, with God, and for God, and by God. Right? Because the reason why we say that is whatever you're going to do, be God doing it. Whatever you're going to do, be God doing it. So if Melissa goes to sell real estate, God is selling real estate. If I'm going to drive a car, God is driving the car.
Mhm.
If I'm going to do a referee game, God is reffing the game.
Mhm.
Get it?
Yes.
Even when you say the affirmation and we hear you, we come into this day in love. Right? Now you're in essence creating what? More love. Because now you become what? Love. You live that day in love. Close that day what? In love. You experience that day in love. You create that day in love. You create all your desires and your manifestations out of that day, out of that now. That makes sense?
Mhm.
Now, once you understand that, now can you really see enlightenment? Absolutely. Now it's much clearer, as all of you said before in the beginning. All right, where am I at? Therefore, in truth, beloved friends, understand well that the ego is the attempt to replace honest and dishonest. Did I read that one?
Yeah. It is that one.
Oh, in fact, one could go so far as to say that those that would seek for the devil need look only at the ego, in which case the ego becomes egocentric. Your sense of identity is all wrapped up in defending and protecting a false image of yourself. Much resistance is pervading your human domain, which is only this. No, I will not, is pervading your human domain, which is only this. No, I will not look honestly. I must uphold the image I need to believe this true about myself. This is not love, and this is not truth. So once you tell yourself, this is not love, this is not truth, it's easy to shift the mind into this is love, this is truth.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Mhm.
Speed of thought. Speed of thought. Questions, comments, concerns? We all good? Ooh, we should still be deliberate creators.
Okay.
Now, this is the threshold of divine wisdom. All right.
Right.
Love you all. We'll see you next week. Have a blessed week.
Yes. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.